Good morning and welcome to the Saturday AM Scramble. I'm your host, Lucian Graves, here with my buddy Mike. We're going to get into the top 25 games, matchups, spreads, and some other good stuff this morning on this bye week for some of the top teams, but there's also some great games, and we're going to dive into it. Mike, how you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing awesome. Lucian, I had a really hard week, like just busy, just like lots and lots of stuff to do every day, and I had a cold. So today I'm feeling a little better, and we got a full day of football ahead of me. I'm pumped.
Right.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. I know it's been a long week. Fall weather's hitting everybody kind of hard, so I'm glad you're here, brother. We're going to have some fun.
What's up with you?
First week back at the job from a little vacation, getting back into the grind.
Yep.
Other than that, dealing with messes, getting ready for fall.
Yeah. I'm ready for the fall weather to be here because we got like a little, I don't know what it's like we're in Columbus, but we got like a little bit of fall weather at the end of August, beginning of September, and it's been mostly hot since then. So I'm ready for it to be fall. I want it to cool off. I don't want to have any more t-shirt football games. I want to be able to wear a hoodie to a football game. That's what I'm ready for fall.
I'm ready for actual football weather too. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that sentiment from anybody that likes that type of weather.
I do. I'm a kid from the frozen north, so it's what makes me feel at home when you get a little crisp bite in the air.
So a little recap from last week. What did anything surprise you?
Last week,
we'll do a little recap real quick.
Okay.
Before we dive into
besides the Gophers losing? That surprised me. That surprised me in a bad way. I think the thing that's interesting is that both, for me, as from a Big Ten perspective, both Penn State and Oregon came out really slowly in their games last week. Like neither one of them, they're both on bye this week. They play next week, and the winner of that game will have the inside track, to be alongside Ohio State in that Big Ten title game. So that's going to be a huge game. So I thought it was interesting that I was surprised. I didn't think Tennessee was going to go after Georgia the way they did. Tennessee should have won that game. They should have won the game. And I just think I did not know they had enough. I didn't know they had enough offense against that, Kirby Smart defense to do that. But they looked really good. I mean, I know they lost the game, but I came away really impressed with that Tennessee offense and Joey Aguilar.
Okay. Now, what do we say? Did we say what do we say about the Texas A&M Oklahoma or Texas A&M Notre Dame game? I took Texas A&M, and that was a great game.
That was a great game. I think I had Notre Dame, but I'm glad they lost. I'm always happy when Notre Dame loses. I think we all can. One thing college football fans can mostly agree on is unless you're a Notre Dame fan, you're happy when Notre Dame loses. And the fact that they are 0-2 and still ranked in the top 25 in week 4, haven't won a game yet, but they're still ranked in the top 25. So that's ridiculous. I mean, that was a great game too. Marcel Reed for Texas A&M, man, you knew he could run the ball. He can really throw it too.
Right. That surprised me greatly because I didn't think he could throw the ball like that.
No. That was impressive. And then I'd say the other biggest surprise would be like Clemson going down to Georgia Tech, man. The Ramblin' Wreck. I watched a lot of that game. Clemson's discombobulated on offense. They don't know who they are, and Cade Klubnik has not taken another step. He's still the same guy he was last year, the same guy he was 2 years ago. He is not, he doesn't have it. He doesn't look like that fifth year or senior kind of player right now.
I would say going off last week, I would say the top 3 quarterbacks that they said going into this season, if not the top 5, aren't looking like the top 5 quarterbacks.
No, they aren't. There are other guys who are playing really well, but the guys everybody thought, like the DJ Legways and the Garrett Nussmeyers and all that kind of stuff, have not impressed to this point.
Even Nussmeyer's not. I mean, he's not really playing elite. I mean,
yeah, he played better last year.
He's not playing exactly. So,
and LSU,
I don't know,
man,
we'll see.
Did you see Brian Kelly freak out in his press conference on a reporter?
I mean, I try not to watch Brian Kelly till they do the highlight of his material right before we play him, just so I can get in that mind why I really don't like this dude. Because I mean, unless you're like a Brian Kelly fan, which I'm not really sure if there are.
Nobody likes Brian Kelly. He's not a good guy. Everyone knows he's a bad guy. You know, I don't openly say that about a lot of people, but he's a bad guy. You know,
you're not wrong. I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but
yes, he came out and they tried to ask him about his offense, and he was like, "Hey, we won the game. We won the game. What are you doing asking about the?" And it's like, yeah, you won the game, but the offense didn't play well. You know, you didn't win because of the offense. So, like, what happened that you only scored 20 points? You know, and he got really mad, and I think he had to like go apologize to the reporter later because he freaked out on him on the reporter so hard.
That's absolutely awesome. I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Yeah. So like it was, you can tell it's a sensitive spot, and LSU has to figure out that offense. If we're supposed to believe that LSU is one of the best, one of the 3 to 5 best teams in the country, they gotta figure out that offense.
Oh, and can we, no pun to take about a segment off my other show, the elephant in the room in Texas and UTEP?
Arch, man.
Arch.
Literally the highest ranked recruit in recruiting history. Think about that. The highest rated ever. There were people who get paid to do podcasts every day, Lucian, who were saying that Arch Manning would have been the #1 pick in last year's NFL draft, despite the fact he had barely played. So he's the most hyped recruit of all time. And right now, he looks like a below average power conference quarterback. He doesn't have a lot of zip on the ball. He's not processing things very well. And Steve Sarkisian is normally a quarterback whisperer. So the fact that he's had Sark, he's his 3rd year with Sark, and he's still, this is what he looks like. And it's like, do you think Texas fans owe Quinn Ewers an apology? You're muted. I still can't hear you. No. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very against that and how everybody had him placed, because I watched film and there was nothing he did in high school. He didn't go to any elite football competition, throwing competition, and wow anybody. And if he didn't, like I said, if he's truly who he is and who everybody thought he is, Quinn Ewers wouldn't have played the last season. The fact that he did, and they kind of just hit him and kept hiding him, and then Ohio State exposed him, and then going 0 for 10. I mean, I get getting in a bad groove and stuff, but like Sark's not going to deal with that for much longer because he's an offensive guru, and he's not about to have his rep put on the line just because they kind of shoved this kid down his throat. Because I truly don't believe this is one of the quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, it's Arch Manning, but look at all the other quarterbacks Sark's worked with that can actually throw the ball. So, I mean,
yeah. I just can't believe the lack of zip on his ball. The most hyped quarterback recruit of all time, but when he throws it, it doesn't have a lot of juice, and it's weird. And he hasn't been. And if you're not going to have the juice, then you got to be crazy accurate, and he hasn't been. So it's you're right. I think it's getting to be put up or shut up time for Arch, and it's his 3rd year in the system. He should everything set up for him to succeed. If he can't succeed, then maybe he's not the elite prospect everybody thought he was. Maybe he's another, maybe he's going to spend the rest of his life feeling like a failure. I don't know. But the hope, I think, is that he's playing hurt, right? The hope is that there's like a shoulder thing that we don't know about, and that he's playing hurt, and that actually when he gets healthy, he'll look better, kind of thing. Like, I feel like that's the hope, but like, is there any evidence of that? I don't know. I think that's just wish casting.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. That might be a little bit of wish casting because I don't see it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But that again, that's just me. It's just me.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I hope for his sake he can get back on track because it would be embarrassing to come from that family and be a total bust. That would be a hard thing to live down your whole life. So
And then be that hyped and
yeah, to be that hyped and then turn out to be nothing, that would be rough. So I hope he can figure it out a little bit because like it's not it's not that I'm not crying any tears for someone as wealthy and privileged as Arch Manning is, but it's got to be rough for him out there when he's playing that badly and everyone thought he was going to be the savior.
I mean, to get booed at a Texas, your home stadium, that's
booed.
I don't remember the last time I ever heard a Texas quarterback get booed, and they've had some bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, dude. The last time I saw a booing in person was when PJ Fleck decided to kneel it out in the first half when we could have still gone to score one time, and the whole crowd just went crazy. And then he never did that again since then. But yeah, so it's not a thing that happens much. You don't get booed at home usually unless you're losing a bunch. And
right,
yeah, if you're playing an inferior team and you're getting booed, that's a bad sign. I'm with you.
Exactly. So now let's get into some of the top games this week. We got first one on the docket is Texas Tech versus Utah.
New money versus established winners.
I like this game.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be very high scoring. I don't think either of these teams believe in much defense.
You don't think Utah plays defense?
No, I said I don't think they value they prioritize defense. I'm not saying they don't play defense. I'm saying that defense is not at the top of both of these guys' priorities.
I disagree with you about Utah. I feel like Kyle Whittingham very much is like part of their identity is to always have a great defense. But Texas Tech for sure is an offensive driven team. No question about that.
So who do you have here?
This is a tough one. You've got the new money versus the established winners. The Texas Tech D-line has I think 3 guys who are potentially going to get picked in the next couple NFL drafts. And the Utah O-line has been amazing. So I think who wins that battle today, whoever can win in the trenches like that is going to have an edge. I really like Utah's new look offense with offensive coordinator Jason Beck and Devin Dampier at quarterback, coming over from New Mexico. The Utah offense had grown kind of stagnant the last few years, but that reset at QB and OC seems to have succeeded so far. And then T-Tech, man, they have a lot of money with Cody Campbell giving all that money, and they went in the portal and they went bananas. And I'm really curious to see what it looks like, all that money playing in conference. What does that really look like? So I'm super curious about this one. This is the first real test for Texas Tech. Are they really a contender now, or are they just a little better than they were? You know what I mean? Right. If they're a contender, they should be able to go into Utah and have a real chance to win. And, Texas Tech.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And Texas Tech quarterback Baron Morton, man, he's been really good. Over 900 yards passing, 70% completion percentage, 11 TDs to just 1 pick. But yeah, I think if Texas Tech is going to win this game, they have to make Utah throw the ball, because Utah will just line up and run the ball at you over and over and over again if you let them. So my question there is, can Texas Tech stop the run? I think they do okay, but it's at Rice-Eccles. I think it's a hard place to play. I think Utah pulls it out. I've got the Utah Utes 27, Texas Tech 24. But this has got to be the biggest game since Mike Leach was there, don't you think?
I'd definitely say so. Where these programs are right now, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Who do you think
is that? I mean, I'm a defensive oriented guy, so I would lean toward the Utes, but the Texas Tech just has an explosive element that if they can actually get going, they can be tough to play with. From what I've seen from their offense, now you are absolutely correct about their defensive line. They do have a stout front. I'm interested to see how those linebackers do and hold up against the run, especially against Utah's. I mean, they're tough in the trenches. So
yeah,
I'm gonna pull
always.
Texas Tech. Give me but I have this in a little bit of higher of a score. Give me I got Texas Tech 38, Utah. Yeah, give me Utah 35.
Okay, so you
I
think
like
it's
it
gonna
by
be you
field
think it's a
goal.
shootout?
I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech has that explosive element keeps them in the game, and I think pushes the score up a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a great one. It's a really good slate of games today. I'm excited to watch ball all day.
It is, especially when you don't have to worry about your team and the stress of what your team has going on. You can kind of just, all right, let me just relax.
I feel good about that for sure.
Right. Going into the next matchup as far as the top ranked matchups of the week, we got number 22 Auburn versus 3-0 number 11 Oklahoma at home. What do you got here? I like this game. This is going to be a very deciding game for some people.
Yeah, especially Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold. It was almost a year to the day when Jackson Arnold got benched at Oklahoma last year. Everyone thought he was the savior. He was this 5-star recruit, all this stuff. And within what, 4 games, Brent Venables was like, no, I actually don't think you're that good. Actually, I'm going to bench you. And then in the offseason, we're going to let you go and we're going to go get a different quarterback. You know, that's a statement that Venables made. So if you're Jackson Arnold, I got to imagine that him and his teammates are chomping at the bit to give it to Brent Venables, you know, for overlooking him. So that said, Oklahoma has a nationally elite defense, which shut Michigan down completely. I mean, they had Bryce Underwood seeing ghosts out there a couple weeks ago when they played. And, you know, Brent Venables, he likes to show one coverage pre-snap and then switch to something else post-snap. And his teams are really good at doing that defensively. And I think that that's the difference in this game, because I think Jackson Arnold, like, will he play within the offense, or is he going to try to play hero ball a little bit because he, you know, wants to stick it to his old team? Plus, with Oklahoma, you know, they're going to play great defense, and they've got a dual threat in John Mateer, so they can run the ball. And man, if you got defense and you can run the ball, you're going to win a lot of games. So I think Oklahoma wins this. I've got it 27-20. I got it 27-20 Sooners, but it's going to be a really good game though.
See, here's the difference in what I see between Oklahoma and Auburn. Auburn's got an outstanding wide receiver core.
Oh, yeah.
Michigan, let's face it, doesn't have one.
No, that's true.
That in itself is going to put this game on a different level, and I think that's going to test Oklahoma in a way that they've never really been tested before, because they're going to expect a smash-mouth football game. Hugh Freeze isn't going to give them what they want.
Right.
You got to remember who's coaching Auburn. Hugh is not and I'm not complimenting the man. I'm just saying what his history is, especially when knowing what he's about to go up against. He knows the quarterback on the other side of the field, and he knows the Brent Venables defense. He's going to expect them to think that they're going to run the ball. Auburn's not going to do that. I think Auburn actually might expose something that I've seen on Oklahoma's defense. And if they do, I think Oklahoma might be in trouble. And especially, this is a game that both coaches have to win. So they're going to be coaches. This is going to be at a high level, because if one loses, their job's pretty much going to be on the line on the other side. And the same thing can be true for the other, because this is actually the first true test of both of these programs are going to have this season. And you don't want to start off SEC play with a loss, because once you start with that loss, it ain't nothing but a train of going down the tracks.
Yeah, and you only get 8 conference games, so everyone's got to count.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see if you can actually get these get these wide receivers on board. We haven't seen it yet. I mean, something's got to break eventually. If it doesn't, we're going to see a big shakeup. So I think it's going to be an outstanding game, but I think you're right. I'm going to go Oklahoma. I think they take it in the end, just based off they're going to have that home field advantage. And I think Auburn doesn't really play good on the road, so especially in like big game environments. So yeah, give me Oklahoma by 10.
Nice. Yeah, I think Oklahoma's going to force some turnovers today. Maybe score on a short field, that kind of thing, to give them an advantage. So yeah, it's going to be a really good game. I'm pumped about it. And I like cheering against Hugh Freeze. I do. He's not. I don't.
Absolutely.
I don't hate him the way I don't despise him the way I do Brian Kelly, but he's kind of a shyster, So Hugh Freeze, like, love to see him go down. So I will definitely. I don't normally cheer for helmet schools, but I will be Boomer Sooner today.
See, I will never openly support Hugh. I will give an objective opinion about his coaching style. But
yeah,
if you've ever watched me, he's my second favorite person to make fun of.
Yeah.
Along with the Georgia driving policy that they have in Atlanta. But that's a completely different story. But I don't think Hugh gets this. I think this is where he gets on the chopping block, because I do think Oklahoma has that home field advantage, and that's some noise that I don't think a lot of these younger Auburn players are going to be able to deal with. And I think in the end, they make mistakes. They're complacent. They might jump out early, but I think Oklahoma in the end wins it by 10 for sure.
Awesome.
So the nightcap, the big game, the game I'm really probably most interested out of all these is Illinois, Indiana, number 9 versus number 19. This right here. What do you got? What do you got, Mike?
Lucian, on my podcast, We Live for Saturday, you can see it right on my hat. It's a Big Ten football podcast, so we have been talking about this game literally since January, because I thought that the winner of this game would have a really good shot to make the college football playoff. Both these teams have really favorable schedules this year. They don't have to play, they don't have to play 3 of the 4 top teams or something like that. They only have to play, one of the top 3, and then, one more who's in that range. But they both have really favorable schedules, good home road splits, and it's a contrast of styles. So on the one hand, you've got Indiana. Indiana's aggressive offensively. Like, they like throwing the ball down the field and going at you. We saw Omar Cooper have a bunch of touchdowns last week and just go bananas. So Indiana wants to force the issue on offense. But on defense, Indiana wants to sit back. They want to play zone, and they want to make you make mistakes, make you drive the whole field, bend but don't break, make mistakes, right? Illinois blitzes 60% of the time. 3 out of every 5 snaps, Illinois is sending an extra guy. So they're not sitting back on defense. They're trying to force the issue on defense, trying to force turnovers, trying to get sacks, trying to do all that stuff, trying to disrupt you in the backfield. That's what Illinois wants to do. So it's a huge contrast in styles there. And then you look at both these teams can score. Both teams are veteran. They have great head coaches in Bielema and Signetti. For me, Lucian, the difference in this game is that I think Fernando Mendoza is a very good quarterback, but it's his first year in the Indiana system. Luke Altmaier is a 3rd-year starter, 5th-year senior quarterback for Illinois. He's seen it all. He's done it all. Illinois had 16 starters back on this team. They look really, really good. They're balanced. They play really good defense, but they run the ball and throw the ball. They haven't run the ball great inside the tackles, but they've been able to get to the edges and run the ball a little bit. And then you have Luke Altmaier, who can, make plays with his legs. He's really dynamic, really quick on his feet. He's a lot faster than you think he is. So he's an interesting guy to play against. I think, and then you have on Illinois' side. So Lucian, I was like, Illinois is gonna got this. I trust Luke Altmaier. It came out that one of their best DBs, Xavier Scott, is not playing this weekend. And when you're playing Indiana, you don't want to be down one of your best DBs because Indiana has receivers. They got Elijah Surratt, they got Omar Cooper. Those guys are nasty. So I think it's a great game. I think it comes down to who has the ball last. And so I think that's going to be Illinois. So I think that, I've got something like Illinois 20 or Illinois 30, Indiana 27, something like that. I think we see turnovers in this game. I think we see high drama. I think Signetti probably gets really mad at Bielema for his slow substitution thing that he does. So look for the coaches to get animated on the sideline. I couldn't be more excited for this game, Lucian.
Yeah, I don't know. Just from what I've seen, Illinois is a very impressive ball club.
Yes.
Just off what they've been able to do these last couple of years in recruiting and the transfer portal and actually build that team to be recognized on the stage that they're going to be on tonight is impressive. But I don't know. I think Indiana at home. I like Indiana at home. I like just their coach. Come on, man. He where he comes from, and I think he knows that he has to win this game to get back to try and make a statement again. Because if he doesn't win this game, it's not going to happen. So, and I think he understands the level and the magnitude, and I think he's going to be able to communicate that to his players. And with the injury on the Illinois side, you don't want that against a high-octane offense. I know Illinois got the more veteran offense, but Indiana's explosive.
They're really
explosive. And with being at home, this game's going to be loud. This game's going to be loud. I'm looking forward to it. I got Indiana by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it is going to be loud. It's funny. They actually, Indiana, before the last game, not this one, they put out a press release and said, or on campus, and were like, hey, or no, not on campus, just to all the fans. And they were like, hey, please don't leave at halftime, because so many Indiana fans show up for the first half and then leave at halftime that Signetti had to come out and be like, hey, we need you to stay the whole game. That's important. We can't have you being gone in the fourth quarter. So I think they'll stay the whole game today. I think this game tonight, I don't think they're going to duck out. I think they're going to hang around. So I like Indiana a lot. I won't be surprised at all if Indiana wins this outright. But I just have faith in Luke Altmaier in that Brett Bielema system after all these years. I think he's going to make fewer mistakes. And at the end of the day, he's going to drive them down when they need to, score points, and win.
I think there's a few potential game of the years coming today, because I think this game tonight it's gonna be explosive, and I think that's what everybody wants to see in college football. And both of these coaches aren't going to back down, which is what I like about both of them.
Yeah, and if Indiana wins this game, then they could win. They could win at Iowa next week, and then you go play in Autzen against number 6 Oregon. So if Indiana wins this game, that game against Oregon could be featuring 2 top 10 teams in a couple weeks.
That would be huge.
Be wild. It would be wild stuff. And then Illinois, they got to play USC next week. So Illinois needs to win this game too. They don't want to drop this and then potentially drop another one next week with how well USC is playing.
Right. We'll get into the USC matchup here in a second. But moving to our next part of the games, we got the top matchups that for the ranked teams, just as far as games go. These are some huge games.
Yeah.
You got 3-0 Tulane at the number 13 ranked Ole Miss at home, also still undefeated. This game right here has implications. Mike, what do you think?
Oh, man, this is a great game, isn't it? I mean, Tulane going into this year, I talked to shout out to Justice from the Group of Five Hive. He runs a Group of Five podcast, and they did a preview for every Group of Five team. And when we were talking to him before the season, when I was talking to him, he said Tulane's got everything except a quarterback. And then BYU, Jake Retzlaff is, he broke the honor code and he may or may not be a sexual predator. That's alleged. I don't know. But what I do know is he can play ball. And Tulane, defensively, I've been really impressed by what they've done. I mean, they made, Northwestern couldn't do anything against them. And then they beat Duke. And so if they beat Ole Miss to get to 4-0, that would be 3 power conference schools they'd beaten in 1 year. And at that point, all Tulane has to do is win their conference. It wouldn't even matter if they lost a game or two. You know what I mean? Because they beat those power conference teams. If they beat Ole Miss, then no one's going to jump them who else is in the Group of Five, probably. They'd have to have a total collapse. They'd have to lose at least 3 games, that kind of thing. So I think Tulane can almost punch their ticket tonight or to the college football playoff if they can beat Ole Miss. Now, that said, Ole Miss is good. Lane Kiffin's a great coach. They're always going to score points. They're explosive. The defense can be a little up and down, but I don't know. I want to pick Tulane here, Lucian. I want it to be Tulane. But I feel like this is when Cinderella turns into a pumpkin and Ole Miss flexes a little bit. I think it'll be a good game. I think it's going to be competitive. But I do think ultimately Ole Miss takes it. What do you think?
So I got a buddy that I do the final whistle with, and he's what we call him the double agent because he's a part Ole Miss fan and part Alabama fan.
Oh,
and he has been saying, yeah, it's definitely interesting. We deal with it, we love him, but we hate him at the same time. So he has been pumping that Austin Simmons is one of the best up and young quarterbacks in the SEC. And we've seen a little bit from him, but we haven't really seen them get started offensively and be able to keep it going. So, and he's not really taking good care of the football. So if they can get some pressure on him, they can create some turnovers. This could be a game for Ole Miss because Ole Miss's defense is not built to stay out there long. They're there to get pressure and get a turnover and get off. They don't have the depth that you would see at some of the other SEC schools do. Right. But it's going to be interesting. I think Austin Simmons has a bounce back game. I think he knows this has to be a statement game. And I think Lane Kiffin's going to take advantage of the fact that they're at home. And I think they're going to try to force Tulane to stop the run because Ole Miss is going to try to hit him between the trenches. And if Tulane can stop it, this will be a game. And if they can't, Austin Simmons, as soon as they figure out they can't stop the run, Austin Simmons is going to drop back and hit him deep. And this game's going to be in Lane Kiffin's lap. So it's all going to depend on if Tulane can win the line of scrimmage.
And the problem with Ole Miss is even if you can stop them from running the ball, they'll just throw a bunch of passes really short that might as well be run plays and dare you to tackle them in stiff space. See if you can do it. So can Tulane hold up that way athletically for 4 quarters? I don't think so. But I'll be cheering for him. I remember being a little kid when JP Lossman was at Tulane thinking they were awesome. So like I have a soft spot for Tulane. I'll be cheering for them today, but no, I'm with you. I think Ole Miss ends up winning by 2 scores. I will say though, the line started at 13.5 where you have it, but it looks like it's down to 11.5. So it's moving in Tulane's favor right now. So right. I wonder if that means there's an injury we don't know about for Ole Miss or something like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I got Ole Miss. But moving into the next one, this is a big one.
Oh yeah,
This is a big one. Michigan, and aren't they without Moore too?
Sharon Moore is not coaching this game, and he was not allowed to coach in practice this week either. It's Biff Poggi.
Oh, so that extends to he's not allowed to be around the team at all
for 2 weeks. For the last 2 weeks, Sharon Moore has not been with his team.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Biff Poggi, he's been around. He did a great job as an assistant at Michigan. As a head coach, he didn't do so well building a program. But honestly, man, they might be better off with Biff Poggi today. I have not been impressed with Sharon Moore's decision making in games at times. I don't think he always passes when he should. I don't think he's as aggressive as he needs to be sometimes defensively. I have not been. Here's the thing that scares me with Sharon Moore. All right, Lucian. Last year, he thought that Alex Orji was good enough to be his quarterback. He could have had anybody out of the portal. He could have had the guy we had, Max Brosmer. He could have come and offered him a bag and gotten him over us. But instead, he thought, oh no, Alex Orji is going to be my guy. Well, Alex Orji couldn't play at all. And last year, I was like, Michigan needs to go to the portal and get wide receivers. And Sharon Moore was like, no, we're good. We're just going to get one from Indiana, who was so bad at Indiana last year that Kurt Signetti wouldn't play him, Donovan McCulley. And now they expect Donovan McCulley to be a number one receiver in the Big Ten. And I just think that Sharon Moore, I don't know, man. I question his evaluation skills when it comes. I mean, I'm sure he's good at evaluating linemen, right? The Michigan O-line is generally a machine. But I'm not convinced he's great at evaluating the skill positions and like finding the right guys he needs. So that worries me a little bit because, the good news, though, from Michigan's perspective, is that Nebraska has not, against Cincinnati, they couldn't stop the run. Now, a lot of those were QB scrambles, but Bryce Underwood can scramble too. Bryce Underwood can really scramble if he wants to. And if I'm Michigan, I'm running a bunch of QB power, a bunch of read option, and I'm making Bryce Underwood a number in the running game on every play so that a defender has to account for him. And I'm trying to run at Nebraska until Nebraska proves they can stop it. Because last year, Nebraska had game wreckers like Nash Hutmacher and Ty Robinson on the inside, and you couldn't run the ball on them the last few years because of those guys. Those guys are gone. And you saw that against Cincinnati. You saw that Nebraska was vulnerable up front. On the flip side, Nebraska's quarterback, Dylan Raiola, he may just be a true sophomore, but he's a true sophomore who started 15 games or 16 games or whatever. Whereas Bryce Underwood for Michigan has started 3 games. So I think, and Nebraska has better wide receivers than Michigan does. Nebraska's problem is that they can't always run the ball efficiently when they want to. So can Nebraska run the ball against Michigan? So I know I don't want to be cliche about a big game in the Big Ten, but I really think if one of these teams can establish the run, that team's going to win. Nebraska, I don't think has to do that to win. I think Nebraska can throw to win, but Michigan has to run to win. They have to. They're not going to, I don't think you're going to outgun Dylan Raiola at this point in his career. He's playing really well. He's really comfortable in that Dana Holgorsen offense. I don't think you're going to rattle him that much at this point, especially in a home game. So if I'm Michigan, I'm trying to slow the game down. I'm trying to run the ball. I'm trying to grind clock and see, play field position and see if I can, score enough points, cobble enough points, get good field position, force a couple turnovers and win that way. I don't know. It's Lucian. Here's the thing. We have a trophy game with Michigan, but Nebraska, we have a history playing them forever before they were ever in the Big Ten. We played them a ton. I think we played them like 60 times or something historically. And so I want both these teams to lose. I do. I don't want to see either one of them win the game. But if I guess I'm slightly pulling for Michigan just because Nebraska fans are going to be insufferable. Oh my God, Lucian. If Nebraska wins this game, Nebraska fans are not going to shut up until they lose a game. They're going to be unbelievable on Twitter on all of it. They're going to be unbearable. So because I that said, I want to pick Michigan. I don't trust a true freshman quarterback to go on the road and win a big game in game 4. That's my issue. And it's going to be loud, and the crowd's going to be drunk. And I think it's a low scoring game. I think it's something like 23-17 Nebraska.
Listen, I don't think you're getting many Patrick Mahomes at in his house right now.
He's playing well.
I also don't feel that Michigan is a good road team, especially in loud environments. I think they fell apart in Oklahoma, and I think them getting exposed at Oklahoma will kind of give a Nebraska a hint that, listen, if we keep the ball, that Michigan's key should be keep the ball out of Nebraska's hands. Yes. Because if Raiola's got the ball in his hands, that young man's going to score the football. And if Michigan isn't on their stuff, he could hang a number in the first half that they don't have the offensive magnitude to come back from, at least that we've seen yet. So Michigan has to keep this game close, because if Nebraska gets up by 2 touchdowns, this game could be over early, because Michigan doesn't have the offensive firepower to stay with Raiola with anybody in the Big Ten at this point, especially with the freshman quarterback that we've seen, if you can rattle him, is not good under pressure. So on the flip side, he knows he's got to make a statement game. This is a statement game for him. He has to win this game for, I think, a confidence standpoint. I think he has to play well, and for the University of Michigan, it has to be a good look. So, but I think the Huskers take it. I don't like Michigan on the road. I think the Huskers are going to take this one. Yeah. I think it'll be a good game at the beginning, but I think Nebraska pulls away. I think Nebraska scores late in the first half, and they get the kick in the second half, and they go and score, and they build off that. So give me Nebraska by 17.
What? 17?
Yeah.
Wow. So Nebraska, fun fact, Lucian, you know that the last time Nebraska beat a ranked team was?
When?
2015.
10 years.
15. I think they're 0-14 since then, or something like that. 0-15 since then.
Well,
yeah. So this is their chance, Nebraska. You got a team that may not deserve to be ranked across from you. So Nebraska's got to find a way to win this game. And if you're Michigan, if you're Sharon Moore, I know he's not technically on the sideline today, but if Michigan loses this game, I wonder, do we start to hear whispers of Sharon Moore nearing the hot seat? Because nobody expected to start this year 2-2, and they went 8-5 last year. 7-5 in the regular season. That's not acceptable at a place like Michigan. So I don't think Michigan wants to fire Sharon Moore, but if he goes 7-5 again, I think they would think about it. I think they'd consider it and look out there and be like, who could we get?
I mean, I agree, because I mean they don't necessarily, if they lose to Nebraska, I mean their schedule's not exactly. I mean, they got Wisconsin, then they got a ranked USC. Washington's playing good football right now.
Washington's good. Yeah.
I mean, if they lose to Nebraska, I don't like them being able to turn their season around.
Yeah.
I think that might start a slippery slope. And if they're losing like this, I don't put good favor of them playing Ohio State at home, but that's just a completely different game. So
yeah.
But I mean, if Moore has a losing season and the Buckeyes go up there and kick the living crap out of them at home, I think Moore gets canned.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the icing on the cake.
People don't wait. People don't wait anymore. We just saw Deshaun Foster get fired after 15 games. 15 games as head coach, and they fired him. So there's just no appetite for people to be patient anymore.
Especially when you're playing a quarterback, like you're paying the quarterback more than, or basically what you're paying the coach.
Yeah. And look, if I'm Michigan, I know everyone thinks he's a lock to end up in the SEC, but like if Sharon Moore for whatever reason doesn't make it, John Sumrall at Tulane, man, he's gonna get a job after this year. It's just a matter of which one. You know,
he ain't going to Michigan.
Maybe not. But if I were Michigan,
he can recruit players.
You don't think you can recruit players to Michigan?
When's the last time they've had an elite wide receiver?
I mean, that's fair. And you know, it's weird, Lucian, because when like I was growing up watching Michigan play, when Lloyd Carr had a fistful of wide receivers all the time. He would have Lloyd Carr, and even though they were a run first team, Lloyd Carr always had 3 or 4 wide receivers who were terrifying all the time. So I don't understand why under Harbaugh and now Sharon Moore, Michigan, you know, it's been interesting. Both Michigan and Penn State recruit at an elite level, and neither one of them has developed a wide receiver in the last 5 years. That was really good.
Michigan,
I guess Michigan had Roman Wilson. Michigan had Roman Wilson. He was pretty good. But like, I'm saying pretty good, but like they haven't had anyone super elite in a long time. And Penn State hasn't either. So I don't understand what's going on development-wise at those schools, but for whatever reason, they are not, you know, based on the level they recruit, they should have better wide receiver play than they do.
You would think so, especially when you're paying the number 1 recruit in the country the money you are.
Yes.
My immediate thought, if I'm paying him, I should probably go out and get someone that he could throw the ball to. And for some reason, that's just not the thinking.
Penn State went out and got three starting quality caliber receivers in the portal, and Michigan got one. And it was Donovan McCulley, who was a converted quarterback and is not like a polished route runner. So like, I don't know what they were thinking at wide receiver this year. I do think it's going to hurt them. And I'm really mad we don't play them this year because they look so vulnerable. I'm really mad we don't play them until next year. And by next year, Bryce Underwood will probably be great. You know?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't get wide receivers or a reliable tight end, he's not going to be.
No, but I don't think I think Michigan will be forced to go into the portal after this year. I don't think they're going to be able to get away with not doing it.
Well, they passed the rule.
What? Oh, the one-time portal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can still get guys in the portal.
Yeah, but who's elite that's going to transfer that? I mean, that's another thing you got to look at. They see that one-time transfer rule, like who really wants to transfer to Michigan, you know, and like not be able to leave.
No, there's not a one-time transfer rule.
They're talking about it.
There's no way that's going through. No chance.
If they put a limit on it.
If they do, I just don't see them putting the genie back in that bottle, but maybe I'm wrong. In any case, I will be grudgingly cheering for Michigan because if Nebraska makes the college football playoff before Minnesota does, I will be very upset. So I will be saying go blue come 2:30 Central today.
That's fair. You're indirectly cheering for your team. That I can respect that.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, we just recruit against Nebraska a lot more than we do against Michigan. So, yeah.
Hey, I will not. I'm with you on that one. I'll pull for you guys just on that one, just for that exact reason.
Yeah.
But moving on to the nightcap in the SEC, you got 2-1 South Carolina at number 23, undefeated Missouri. Now, there was a lot of questions coming in that Missouri had, and I think they've answered it.
Yeah.
Took Bell to the T.
In a big way.
And I think they have probably one of the most impressive rushing attacks in the country. And I think that's what's going to put them ahead in this game. I'm not sure if South Carolina's got an impressive defense. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hit those backs for 4 quarters, especially when Missouri's at home. And Missouri's playing great football right now. Let's face it.
I mean,
And
yeah, I mean, Hardy has almost 500 yards rushing through 3 games. That's pretty good. You'll take that. You will take that. And here's my question for you, Lucian. Did Penn State keep the wrong quarterback? Because Prebula looks great at Mizzou. Prebula looks great. And Drew Aller has been kind of up and down so far this season.
Well, which one has, he came down to it's a different offense. They got actual good playmakers at Mizzou, people that can do something in space and catch the football.
Penn State got those guys in the portal. I feel like Penn State has the receivers who can make plays. They just need to get them the ball more often.
But like you said, did they keep the wrong quarterback?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because Drew Aller seems like he hasn't taken a step yet, and Bo Prebula looks awesome. So it does. Yeah.
He's another top quarterback that they said coming in was going to be one of the top guys in the country. And I'm watching him. I'm like, you're like Cade and Garrett. You guys just you got guys. Those were the top 3 guys, and you got John Mateer, and you got this kid and the dude from Tulane, and then you got Haynes King from Georgia Tech. That's just tougher than nails.
Haynes King is great. He's fun.
We're gonna talk about him later. He's my dark horse Heisman. I don't give a damn what anybody says. But I got Mizzou in this one. I got Mizzou.
Yeah,
at home.
Go on.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm good.
I've got Mizzou. I mean, what happened? What happened against Vandy last week with South Carolina? What even happened? I didn't watch that game, but just reading about it, 31-7 against Vandy. I know Diego Pavia is a pretty good player and Clark Lee is a good coach, but like people were talking about South Carolina like they were dark horse playoff contenders, and to go out and lose that game, and not just lose it, but to get blown out. I got to believe that they're going to play better this week, but I don't think they're going to play well enough for Mizzou to win. And there's another guy, Lucian, Lenora Sellers. Everyone said he was going to the moon this year. He's going to be unstoppable. He's so fast.
I agree.
Well, you got to still throw the ball. You can't just run as a quarterback. You got to throw the ball too. And so I trust Missouri to throw the ball a lot more than I trust South Carolina. So I'm with you. I got Mizzou here.
And I don't know if South Carolina can't stop the run, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night.
Exactly.
So yeah, we both got Mizzou on that one. Going back up to I think this game's out west. USC versus the undefeated Spartans. Spartan on Spartan.
Yeah. So here's my thought.
Trojans.
Trojan versus Spartans. But it's pretty much the same, but it's pretty much the same thing, right? So I think they need a trophy game. They need to play for like Helen of Troy or something. They need to have a thing. Like I don't know what it is, but I saw somebody on Twitter suggested they play for a Trojan horse, but instead of the winner getting it, the loser gets it and then has to display it. And I thought that was a funny idea to have the loser be the one who gets the trophy in a rivalry game.
Or the winner gets to cut the other mascot's head off or like take his sword or something like disrespectful. Like there's got to be something.
Yeah,
there has to be something.
My podcast partner thought that they should have all the women on both campuses do a raffle and like whoever gets picked gets to be if their team wins, they get to be Helen of Troy. And that could be fun too. So there's a lot of ways you could go with this. I got to eat some crow, Lucian, probably. I was very skeptical of USC before the season because last year, Jaden Mayava was an interception machine. I mean, he couldn't stop throwing picks. It was ridiculous. So I just think that USC looks so good, and Jaden Mayava has gotten so much better. He's making good decisions. He's hitting open receivers, and USC might have the best receivers this side of Ohio State. With Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane, those guys. I mean, those guys are freaks. They're amazing. So I like USC a lot right now. That Danton Lynn defense is playing pretty well also. As for Sparty, their offense looks good. It looks like Aiden Childs at quarterback has really taken a step this year, and he's playing better. But what's been lackluster is the defense. The defense so far is not when Michigan State stole our defensive coordinator, Joe Rossi, 2 years ago. I think they thought that he was going to do what he did at Minnesota, which was produce top 10 defenses just about every year. That's not what's happening in East Lansing right now. They can't get pressure.
No.
They can't get pressure on the quarterback. And if you can't get pressure on Jaden Maiava, he will tear you apart. So I think Sparty scores some points. I really like wide receiver Nick Marsh, and he is going to play. He was banged up, but he is going to play today. So that's important. And Amari Kelly, those guys are good players. They're very good receivers. I think that, Frazier is a decent enough back. I think Michigan State can keep this close for a while. I think they can score some points in the first half. I think it's something like, 17-13 at half, something like that. Ultimately, though, I just think USC is too good at receiver right now. And I think Jaden Maiava is playing at a higher level than Aiden Childs is. So I got to go with USC here. I think they win comfortably, but I think it's close for a decent amount of time, like 2.5 quarters close, maybe something like that.
2.5 quarters close.
Yeah, before USC pulls away. That's what here's my issue, Lucian. So this is a 11 p.m. Eastern kick. It's 8:00 on the West Coast. So for Michigan State, it's going to feel like they're kicking off at 11 p.m. So I worry a little bit about a slow start for Michigan State, just because that's a weird time to be playing football, body clock wise. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this game goes. I think USC gets ahead early. I think Michigan State fights back. I think it's close for a while, and then USC pulls away late.
I think if Michigan State has to start fast,
yes,
or they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah,
they're going to need to come out first drive. If they don't win the toss and take the football, they're going to need to get a quick turnover, because I do not think that they have the horses to last in this game against USC at home. I'm not saying USC's back, but they're definitely playing better football. They got an offense finally. If their defense can come around and be able to shut some people down, get off the field on third down, especially against a team like Michigan State, who can hurt you if you leave them on the field for too long. I like USC in this game. I like them by 2 scores.
Yeah, I do think that that right now Danton Lynn is doing a better job as at defensive coordinator for USC than Joe Rossi is for Michigan State. And I do think I'm with you. I think that's the difference, that and USC's ability to hit explosive plays in the passing game, for sure.
Right on. So moving right along, we'll get into these kind of smaller games that the spread was kind of far, that we already know is going to happen. UAB at Tennessee, we already know what's going to happen there. Most of these games, we pretty much know what's going to happen. The top-ranked team should take care of business.
Yeah.
Other than, I find it interesting, we're going to talk about one matchup right here, and it's in the middle of the screen. That 2-1 Purdue at number 24, 0-2 Notre Dame. How are they ranked? I don't understand.
They lost close, Lucian. They lost close. That's like winning, right? That's why you play, right? You play to lose close.
So basically, they gave Notre Dame a participation ranking.
Yeah. Yes,
that's what this was.
I mean, it's a brand poll. The AP poll is a brand poll. Always has been, always will be.
I mean, I can understand that, but like, you're 0-2. You have no 0-2.
No business.
Any other team in the country was 0-2, they would not be ranked.
No.
Any other team in the country.
If you're 0-2, you should. If you want to be ranked, you should have to win 5 or 6 games in a row to get to 5-2 or 6-2, and then maybe you can be ranked. Maybe.
Well, and here's the thing too. If they would have lost to Ohio State,
Yeah. No, I know.
okay.
Miami's good, but I don't know how I'm still not sure how good Texas A&M is.
Yeah, I mean, but still, they're not. No, I'm not giving you points for just winning. We're just almost winning a football game. That just goes against everything football. I like this. I think if Florida doesn't keep it competitive against Miami, Billy Napier might be he might be the next one on the chopping block if Miami puts up a 35 piece in the first half and Florida don't get on the scoreboard. Billy might not make it out of the swamp. It's
getting late early for Billy Napier. It's getting late early. That loss to South Florida was just inexcusable, even though South Florida is good. And then to score 10 points only against LSU. DJ Legway is supposed to be the best quarterback in the country, and you scored 10 points against LSU, and that's it. And threw picks and looked terrible and lost. I mean, Legway's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. He's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns through 3 games.
Was he like 7? Isn't it like 7 and 5 or something?
5 and 6.
That's wow.
Taking 5 sacks, it's not great. His completion percentage.
And Miami has a good defense.
What?
Miami has an excellent defense.
Miami has an excellent defense. They also stole a defensive coordinator from us, and Corey Heatherman. And Corey Heatherman, man, he's the real deal as a defensive coordinator. He looks like he talks like a caveman and looks like a caveman, but that dude knows what he's doing, and he loves to blitz. So you expect Miami's going to come out and they're going to attack. They're going to blitz Billy Napier. They're going to try to make Florida prove that they can beat you man to man and that they can get the ball out quick and hit guys and get guys the ball. And if they can't do that, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath because Miami is going to score points. We know that. But I also think now that they have a defense and Carson Beck looks way better at Miami than he ever looked at Georgia.
I would agree with that.
So,
but he also has wide receivers.
Yes, that helps. It helps to have wide receivers.
That's another school. That's another school that you don't see wide receivers at. And I've always questioned that. I'm like, why can't Georgia get? I mean, or an elite quarterback for that matter. But that's a different story.
Yeah, well, and Georgia, when they do have a good wide receiver, half the time it's a white guy somehow. Is Kirby Smart low-key racist? Why can't he develop wide receivers at the level everyone else does? I don't get it.
I mean, he doesn't really recruit. He doesn't recruit well.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
I mean, but realistically, especially kids today, if you're a defensive kid, yeah, Georgia's at the top list. Wide receiver, Georgia's not putting them in the league, so why would you go there as a wide receiver?
Right. But
it doesn't make sense.
You win back-to-back national titles. That should give you enough cachet to recruit some wide receivers.
Yeah, but you didn't win it with your wide receivers. You won it with your tight end.
No, you're
and
right.
Some guy that I didn't even know was on the team till he was on the field.
Yeah,
named Ladd McConkey.
Ladd McConkey, I know. He's actually playing. Isn't he in the NFL? Doing okay?
Yeah, he's I got him on fantasy. He's a dog.
Yeah, good for him. But it is weird that Georgia can't like put together wide receivers, but Miami can, and Cristobal has recruited at a really high level. I don't think it's close. I think Miami hammers them probably.
Now, on the off chance that Billy Napier inspires some people and Lagway wakes up and plays to his actual level and Florida goes in here and like defends their Floridian title, this might be a game. And when I say might, I want to emphasize I'm using that word extremely loose.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze loose. But Vanderbilt, I mean, they're going to win that big. They're playing great football right now. I can't. Yeah. And Vanderbilt's a good program.
Clark Lee's a great coach.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody in the SEC has been raving about that guy and what that he's been able to do with that team.
Yeah.
Now I still feel how I feel, obviously, about Vanderbilt, but
Yeah. Happens.
it's gonna, yeah, it does. Uh, LSU at home against Southeastern Louisiana. That's obviously we already know what's going to happen there.
Yep.
Uh, Sam Houston in Texas. Now this is the one that I'm not really questioning if Texas wins. I just think it's going to be an interesting to see how their offense looks.
No, yeah. I mean, Arch has got to play better. I think like the amount of pressure that's got to be on Texas right now in this moment and Arch Manning to play well has got to be just crazy. So Arch, you got to, man, you were supposed to be the promised one. He's got to show he can at least run an offense and like hit guys when they're open. He's got to at least be able to do that.
They didn't really win by that much. I feel like Texas should have dropped a little bit more for that in the rankings. Like they didn't do it. Like if anything, they played worse. So I feel like they should have dropped a little bit further than they did. I think they got that ranking because that's another brand ranking.
I think they got that ranking because they played Ohio State close and because everyone thinks eventually Arch Manning is going to figure it out. But is he? Well, I don't know. He better look good today because Sam Houston State is 0-3. And you got to, yeah, I mean, you can't carve them up, then what's going to happen in SEC play?
I mean, I think especially as far as what they're going into right now, once they start in the SEC play, they're going to have way too much film on them. And that's not something you want. Like, especially exposing what you do bad.
Yeah.
Like you want to have on film, like you want to have good film going into SEC play so people don't know how to expose your weaknesses.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what SEC is known for. Is okay, we're going to take a quarterback and take everything that he wants to do away from him and then try to have him beat us. It's like, Arch, if you can't complete some passes to some cornerbacks that aren't elite, what are you going to do when you're facing top 10, top 20 NFL talented DBs? So it's like,
and defensive linemen who can get off the ball faster than the people you've been playing mostly.
Yeah,
like Ohio State's great, obviously, but the last couple of games have been against softer comp.
Right, and even Ohio State doesn't have the size lineman that they're going to go against, that he's going to have to go against in the SEC. I mean, he has yet to go against a 300-pound defensive line. Well, he's going to. He's going to. I think. Well, I don't know what Texas' schedule is, but they don't have a great schedule. I mean, it's nothing like Florida's grind, but Florida definitely has one of the worst schedules in the country.
Yeah, going forward, it's pretty favorable. Texas next.
Oh yeah, they got Oklahoma.
But before that, they got Florida.
Yeah, Florida. I mean, that's going to be
Florida, Oklahoma. And they do get Kentucky and Mississippi State, but then Vandy, Georgia, Arkansas, A&M. Yeah. So not the toughest schedule in the SEC by any means. But obviously, any SEC schedule is challenging.
Those last 4 games, Vanderbilt at Georgia, Arkansas is a tough team, and then Texas A&M. By then, they're going to want to come in, and they owe Texas one. So
yeah,
and if Arch is not completing passes against any of those competition, they're going to be in trouble,
big trouble.
Because remember, Texas isn't, they're an SEC team, but they were a newer SEC team. They're not necessarily built to withstand the grind that they're going to have to go through with these other teams that have the depth that, okay, we know we're going to have to play an SEC schedule. You're going to have to play this many linemen. Texas, I haven't seen them really rotate a lot of players.
Right.
And if you don't rotate a lot of players early, the worst time is to baptize them in fire against some of these old linemen that are, coming in on their 5th and 6th linemen. They're subbing in there, but they're not going against a young man. They're going up against a 22 or 23-year-old redshirt senior who's been pushed around for 4 years, and he's ready to deal out some punishment. So I think Texas has to play well today. They have to play an elite. If they come out turning the ball over, against Sam Houston.
They're gonna hear booze. Gonna hear.
I mean,
booze.
they heard booze last week, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think this isn't a big game for Texas, but Texas got turned around.
Yeah, it's a get right game.
I don't know what y'all doing.
Arch, you want Arch to be like 15 for 16, and then you pull him because you're up by 5 scores. You want it to be that kind of game.
You don't want to have to bench Arch against Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, if that happens, the country will be on fire. No one else will be talking about anything else.
I know.
No matter what happens in college football today.
You're not wrong. So he's got to show it for sure.
Yeah. I don't really see any other games on here. Florida State, I'm interested. I just want to see them play. See if they can stay on that elite level. Oregon, I don't even see Oregon State even giving them anything. Like, let's be realistic.
Oregon State is one of the worst group of 5 teams in the country. One of the worst. I mean, they have gotten bludgeoned by everybody they played. So it's not great for them. No, yeah, I think the other ranked games are gonna all be cakewalks. I think I agree with you there.
With the exception of, I would just, you know what, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know what needs to happen, but if Purdue went into Notre Dame and knocked off Notre Dame, that would make my year.
I would be so happy.
I would buy a Purdue jersey. Just like, could they rush the field? Like, I mean, I would just love somebody to rush the field that wasn't. I mean, that just.
Yeah, I mean, Barry Odom's a good coach. Purdue's been a lot more competitive this year, but I don't think they have the horses to go toe-to-toe with Notre Dame for 4 quarters. I will say, though, what's up with Notre Dame's running game? Jeremiah Love's supposed to be the best running back in the country. He's done not much so far this year. So what's up with that? Because I know part of the reason they're 0-2 is because they've been trying to rely too much on CJ Carr and not being able to run the ball the way they want to be able to run the ball. So I wonder what's going on there.
I find that interesting too, and that's especially why I kind of like Purdue in this game, because if Purdue is good at one thing, it's defense, and they're good at stopping one thing you're good at usually. Now, I haven't watched them too closely. That's more up your neck of the woods, but if Purdue can continue to limit Notre Dame's run game, I think they got a shot.
I mean, I don't, but I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Because, I would love to see Notre Dame sweat one out or lose. I would love that. But I don't. I think Purdue hangs around.
Competitive into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I think it'll be competitive for
the 4th quarter.
I think it's competitive for 2 quarters. I think then Notre Dame throws the hammer down. But I hope you're right.
I mean, realistically, they have to, because if they don't look good against Purdue, regardless of if they win, if you don't blow out Purdue at this point in the season, you need a statement win.
You need to cover the spread against Purdue and show that you're legit.
Yes, you absolutely need to eradicate Purdue at home. There's no question.
Yeah,
because everybody in the country is starting to really question, what's going on up there. You got a top roster, and you guys are 0-2.
And you've got a bottom quarter team in the Big Ten. You better win.
Right. A team that is not known for offense, does not have skillful wide receivers, or amazing top tier.
Yeah, Purdue has they have Devin Mockabee at running back, and he's pretty good. And then they have a dual threat quarterback who can extend plays with his legs and throw it downfield in Ryan Brown. And that's what they have. They don't have much else, Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. If Notre Dame needs to just this is when they need to put the face mask in and do some business.
And Jeremiah Love, he's got to prove he's okay and he can run still, because I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, and the fact that after you just said that, I was thinking about I haven't seen him show up at all in anything really.
Yeah,
and that the dude was supposed to be literally was the top back on the draft boards.
When he ran that 98-yard touchdown in the playoff, he ran by the Indiana defenders like they were standing still. he was so fast and big and strong. Like, yeah, he needs to show out and play a little better.
Which, I think he will. Hopefully he does, because like I said, if they can't run the ball,
yeah,
it'll be a long, long night. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
Can I talk about one game that's not ranked?
Absolutely.
Real quick. So in a who's gonna save their job bowl, you've got the 3-0 Maryland Terrapins going to play the 2-1 Wisconsin Badgers at Camp Randall. If Wisconsin loses this game, here is what Wisconsin's the rest of their season looks like. It is absolutely brutal. Okay? You ready for this? Wisconsin, if they somehow lose this game, next up, they've got at Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, at Oregon, Washington, at Indiana, Illinois, and then at Minnesota.
So other than the Michigan game, that sounds like crap.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough schedule. So if Wisconsin loses this game, Luke Fickell is in a world of hurt. And on the other side, Mike Locksley, he was on the hot seat coming into this season already. So, yeah, they looked better in September, but Maryland always looks good in September, and then they fall off a cliff usually. So if Mike Locksley somehow wins this game, it could be what it takes to save his job.
Where's this game at?
It's in Wisconsin. It's at Wisconsin. So I think Wisconsin wins, but man, Malik Washington, the Maryland quarterback, he's a true freshman. He looks really good. He looks like the real deal.
I don't know. Wisconsin's they're both of their centers are beat up.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to run the ball this year very well. And their whole thing was we're going to run the ball all the time this year, and they haven't run the ball well. And Billy Edwards is questionable to play, so their quarterback might be out again too. So I'm worried about Wisconsin here.
He hasn't played. He
got hurt in the first or second game.
I think he got hurt in the first game because the guy we faced wasn't Billy Edwards.
No, you faced Danny O'Neal.
Yeah, Danny O'Neal.
Yeah, but they need Billy Edwards back because Billy Edwards has a much bigger arm than Danny O'Neal does, and he can push the ball downfield a little more. Like, they need that. So, because the run game is not doing what it's supposed to do. So, at 11 a.m., it's a sneaky game. It's the only Big Ten game on in that slot.
Oh, it's 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, give me Maryland.
Maryland? Okay.
Maryland.
Yeah, I think it could happen.
I don't like Maryland in night games.
Yeah.
But in day games, I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're one of those teams that actually plays well in the daytime.
Yeah.
As opposed to night games. Because
that's a good point.
There's a certain nostalgia about night games, like, LSU and playing, 9 out of the 10 games at night somehow every season, but they have a horrible record in the daytime. So, but it's like certain teams can play in the daytime. I think Maryland's one of those teams. I like Maryland in this.
Yeah,
I like Maryland in this because I don't think Wisconsin, especially last week after what they had to go through, they're banged up. Like a lot of their offensive linemen got banged up last weekend.
Yep.
And I don't know if they rehabbed well. And with the game being at 11 a.m., and it's not, and there's a thing called, the hangover when you play a physical game like that. I mean, they didn't just come off playing a cupcake. They just
they got pounded for 4 quarters by the Tide.
Yeah,
they got pounded. Yeah,
and that's not something that you can shake off a lot of times in a week. And Mike Locksley, coming from Alabama, knows that. And I think this game being early, I think he jumps out on them early. And I like the Teps in this.
I mean, I hope you're right. I always want Wisconsin to lose. But if I will say if Maryland wins, the temperature in Madison is going to be turned up to hot. The heat is going to be on Luke Fickell. Because, like I said, after this game, Wisconsin's not going to be favored in another game all year, except for maybe against Iowa, maybe. But I don't think so. I think Wisconsin's going to be an underdog in their next 8 games. So they have to win this game.
And even playing any of those teams, especially Michigan, no matter what happens, unless Michigan comes out and blows that team out today, which I don't think they will.
Right.
Michigan's going to be pissed off.
Oh, so pissed.
And they're going to bring it to them, and I don't think they don't have the
So
they
man,
they got to I got who do you got? You got Wisconsin?
I got Wisconsin because of the D line. Wisconsin has a legitimate D line, and I think they can control the play a little bit and maybe get to Malik Washington, make it hard for him. But I don't have a lot of confidence. I think it's a really close game. I think it comes down to who has the ball last and whether or not they can make a play or not. So I think it comes down to the wire.
I feel like there's going to be a major targeting call in one of these games we've talked about today.
Yeah,
there's going to be a major targeting call, and I'm seeing a bad injury that's going to impact a big game today. I don't wish it, but we haven't seen it yet. Right. And the fact that this is the start of conference play for a lot of these teams, the physicality goes from,
it ramps
up.
Out
a conference opponent, it's one thing, but once you get into SEC and Big Ten play, it's different football. You don't like that opponent. Yeah. They don't like you, and you know that. You played an out-of-conference opponent. You might have some friends on there, whatever. Yeah. But that interconference smashing is different, man. And absolutely. I can't wait.
I'm
we got
so
a bunch
pumped.
of good games.
We have such a great week of football. The best week so far, hands down. I'm pumped.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. All right. Well, that does it for me. Mike, you got anything else?
No, that's about it. Hey, if you're interested, if you're a Big Ten fan, my podcast is We Live for Saturday. Check it out. We do preview and review episodes of the games every week.
Guys, check it out. It's a good show. I've tuned in a couple of times. You know, if you're curious about what's going on in college football, which as a college football fan you should be, especially what's going on outside of your conference. I don't know. That's one of the reasons I decided to do this. Because I have no clue what's going on in the Big Ten. That's why I went and got this guy over here to educate me. And I'm grateful that he shows up every weekend. We get to talk about college football because it's going to do nothing but get more hot. The coaches' seats are heating up.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, like we said, there's going to be some coaches that are going to be on the hot seat coming next week. Yeah. There's going to be some teams going into next week that are going to be on the hot seat. Next weekend, there's going to be some major games. Major playoff implications are going to happen today and next weekend. So be sure to catch us next weekend on the Saturday AM Scramble. I'm Lucian Graves. It's Mike. And this show with the 2 words on both of our schools, Roll Tide.
Sky Umago Gophers.